Scanning for audio.
Welcome once again to a Tin Dog podcast. The Black Spot. This is Doctor Who as I like it. Look, here's last week's Coming Soon.
Yo ho ho!
Our sensors picked you up. Ship in distress.
It's dangerous here. There is a monster aboard. She leaves a mark on men's skin.
Doctor, what's happening to me?
Your stowaways!
Amy, what are you doing?
Saving your life. Okay with that, are you?
There's a stroppy, homicidal mermaid trying to kill all.
She's here.
Now, traditionally speaking, the whole Doctor Who, well, Base Under Siege storyline has been done to death. They are stuck somewhere, they cannot escape, someone is picking them off one by one, there is motivation, blah 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 blah. We've all been there, we've all seen it, Horror Fang Rock, there you go, classic version. But New Who's kind of stayed away from that. Until today. And that's lovely. Hey, I'm a pushover for a pirate as much as the next man. I'm not saying it's perfect. I've got issues with many aspects of the story, and I'm sure I can come up with those much later. But basically, my initial reaction is, I really, really liked it. Yeah, of course, you've got little sidelines of, Hatchway Woman opening and the little eyepiece, and she's still dreaming, being this year's big crack, and Amy's Schrodinger's potential child, splitting the universe into two. Yes, she's pregnant. No, she isn't. You'll have to get back to. Lots of questions still haven't been answered from last week, which is fine. We've got 11 more weeks. Yes, I know we haven't until the break, but from this series, 11 more stories, episodes, whatever. Hugh Bonneville was brilliant. I've always liked him. I liked him in Teapot Botherers. Sorry, that's an obscure reference to a Radio 4 joke that was once in the Now show. Bone Kickers, that's what it was actually called. But we ended up calling it Teapot Botherers after they did as a joke. And everyone I know who worked in archaeology called it Teapot Botherers. Either way, Bone Kickers never really made a comeback, did it? It wasn't that bad. Is there a box set available? Crashing On, I've wandered again, haven't I? Of course I've got issues with this story, who hasn't? Oh, my friend's being attacked by pirates, I've been taken away to the hold, and, well, I'll get dressed up and get a cutlass. Oh, and I've got time to put a hat on, that's always important. Hats are very important in modern Doctor Who, I find. Yeah, it's a small thing, but it does get Amy an excuse to dress up as a pirate. Oh, and I know it's not a demon mermaid, it's the Thing. Well, let's call it what it is. The emergency medical hologram. Please state the nature of the medical emergency. Only she does it in the form of screeching and screaming. Picking off the wounded, taking them away to the set of the film Coma, and leaving them on wire racks. A small crescent-shaped moon anywhere on that set would probably have given the game away, but made people who've been paying attention feel a bit happier. Perhaps not. I'm not quite sure as to what was going on all the time. It was one of those things that if you think about it, you start asking too many questions. Like, the Doctor was saying that the myth of the siren is actually taken from this particular event, but this particular event was so specific that a crashed spaceship was on board another ship. Does that mean that this ship just hangs around in this part of the sea and happens to latch on to any ship that happens to be becalmed in the storm, and thus the siren legends are born? But in order to have a legend born, you need to leave at least one survivor. And of course they're always attacking treasure ships because they're the shiny surfaces. That was clever. That was actually really impressive. But a shiny surface is only shiny because of the light reflecting on it. Now, rather than throw your treasure into the sea, shove a blanket over it, you end up keeping the treasure for the long run. Hooray! You know, like sticking the lid on a barrel, like the Doctor did. Or is that just me? But you do get to keep your treasure. And also, if you're in the mood for throwing treasure overboard, why not gouge the gems out? I'm not a greedy man, but I am a practical man. The guy had already lost his kid because of his apparent greed. Oh, and then he can find redemption. How very lovely. See, I'm being cynical, I'm being sarcastic, and I shouldn't be, because it had pirates in it. Hooray! We love pirates. Pirates have a long and noble tradition inside Doctor Who. You've got the smugglers with Hartnell, you've got the space pirates, which is available on audio, and there's a couple of episodes available on the Lost in Time box set. But if you want my advice, bypass the Lost in Time box set, listen to the audio, fill in the gaps yourself using your imagination, and you'll end up with a brilliant looking Doctor Who story, as opposed to the Space Pirates, which has some brilliant looking effect shot, some great acting, but the stuff in studio looks really of its time. Let's be polite. No, listen to the Space Pirates, it's great. I mean, with the Fourth Doctor, you've got the Pirate Planet. With the Fifth Doctor, you've got Captain Rack, who's played by Linda Barron, who's apparently in this series. Good old Auntie Mabel, yes. Anyone who's got a small child in England will really, really relate to that. God, I hope she goes to a convention. I've got so many come outside questions to ask her. Perhaps she'd be more interested in answering some Doctor Who stuff. Let's leave it there. Pirates are brilliant. They make great films. Well, let's face it, Pirates of the Caribbean 4's just come out. Somebody out there must be watching them. Right, issues with the story. I've talked about Amy and her pirate thing. Now, do you get the feeling that this story's been written by someone who's a parent of a child who moans if they've got cut? Dad, got a cut finger. Oh, it's the end of the world, we're all going to die. Somebody saw that, somebody made a note of it and thought, I know, I'll make it actually true. And that's part of the narrative. Worked really well. Yes, the whole thing of the mermaid creature being basically the EMH from Voyager, we can live with. It's far enough away, but not really. The black spot business, I was so with Tom, thinking that it was a bruise caused by the removal of the nano recorders from last week, and it just wasn't. That's fine. That's good. We're allowed to have theories. We're allowed to be proven wrong. That's not a problem. And as for the rest of the aliens, well, we can live with that. Aliens dying of the common cold is old hat. There's too many hats in this story. But that's fine. We can live with that. We really can. Not a very good emergency medical hologram, but that's fine, because she can't cure the common cold, and who can? That's not a problem. Yes, Doctor Who also has a history of ships within ships. There's at least 2 Tom Baker stories where that sort of thing happens. And that's also not a problem. Referring back to things that we know and love and can recognise and relate to isn't a bad thing. Oh, I have one question. Rory. This is Rory version 3, is that right? There was original Rory, who was removed from time and space. There was version 2 Rory, who's plastic pal, basically a glorified action figure. So there's action figure Rory, who's a duplicate of the first one, not the first one. Then there's version 3 Rory, who seems to have the memories of version 1 and version 2 combined to make version 3, who's a creation from the universe that was created from Amy's head. Yeah, if Amy created the entire universe from her own head, where did the silence come from? Or is that me just reading far too much into it? Everybody's died, everybody's come back, let's just move along, shall we? I did intend having the whole black spot Monty Python thing, but as the punchline to the joke involves cancer, I thought it's best to avoid such things, as we're Doctor Who fans at the moment, and we're still reeling. I hope you understand. Look, basically, I liked it, you liked it, it was Monster of the Week, and I know it didn't answer too many questions, and yes, I know it referred back to too many things, but Basically, it was good, and we can have a sequel. Hey, imagine the sequel with the Pirate King in space and the Doctor's daughter meeting up. That's a special I'd like to see. Oh, fan fiction, here we come. Either way, be seeing you.
Urgent subspace communication incoming.
Just a quick note to say that I'm selling one of my most prized possessions, a handmade, solid silver police box pendant. There was only ever a handful of these made, and I'm selling this one with some regret. If you'd like to see this or indeed buy it, then please visit the Tin Dog website at www.tin-dog.co.uk and click on the banner on the right hand side. Remember that you can also buy a Whostrology, as well as donate to help keep the Tin Dog podcast running. Thanks for listening. Be seeing you.
The other mind has now left the Matrix.
You have been listening to the Tin Dog podcast. Doctor Who and its associated shows are all trademark of the BBC. No infringement is intended. Contact us at tin-dog@hotmail.co.uk.